Hi, I'm Uncle Mark. Welcome to my channel. Just working on my wife's 2010 Dodge Grand Caravan with the 4-liter, but I think any of the Grand Caravans, if they have the battery on this side, are similar. The only difference might be that the positive and negative cables might be on opposite ends on some of the newer ones. We can see the red one, the positive's towards the back on this one. This has got a little battery blanket around it. We're up in Canada, it gets cold. This is 10 millimeter. I actually wrote it on top of the battery posts, just so I can remember when I've got to quickly take it apart. And this has a clamp down in here. There it is. It's a 13 millimeter bolt. It's got a lot of acid or whatever all around it. So I was trying to figure out, I've got a little battery minder or tender, or it's basically a battery charger sitting there, and that's what that box was. I was trying to figure out, how did I put that in? Anyway, I'm going to take the clamps off. So let's do the negative first, I guess. Like I said, it's a 10 millimeter. Got one of these ratcheting wrenches. These are kind of nice. Make it a little quicker, but not the end of the world if you don't have one of those. Move that out of the way. And I'll do the positive one. This battery's about 4 or 5 years old already. It's been acting up a little bit. This is wintertime, December 2022, and it's getting pretty cold. We've had some minus 40 Fahrenheit already. So figured it's time to do something with this. See a little bit of corrosion on there as well. Now, if I can get down to this corroded bolt here. I didn't realize how bad it looked. It's got all sorts of stuff around there. 13 millimeter. That's the only real tie down to this battery. So I figured while it's time to do it, this feels a bit tight. And what I found out is this bolt actually goes to, it's got like a metal clip underneath. Actually, this is a good time if you can. Give me the thumbs up. If you like the video, it lets YouTube know I'm doing a good job. So back to this bolt. It goes into like a plate. It's not really a nut. It's a tin clip or something. And it's tough. Anyway, get the battery out here. It's pretty heavy. I'll take this battery blanket off, but here I'll show you how this works. So here's the clamp here. It just basically grabs the edge of the battery and holds it down. And the other, yeah, so just the edge of the battery fits under there. And this moves, the more you tighten it, the closer it gets to the battery, because it's on an angle. That's how it moves. And I see, oh, I just put that bracket under the battery. I'll try to take this battery blanket off. It's like, boy, this is on tight. Trying to think, how did I get it on last time? So here's where I make a mistake. Big mistake. It's like, oh, is it Velcro together? Nope. It's actually like glued or taped. I thought it was like a Velcro. It's like, okay, plan B. Figured out how to put that one back on. So here's the new battery. Got this from one of my local parts stores. Something they're selling with an okay warranty, and they'll look after me if I have a problem. So I discovered that it was like a tape that wasn't made to come off when it was put together. I should have just tried to wiggle it to get it off. So if you have one of these battery blankets,
you don't want to stick now. Wonderful.
Maybe
it was glued on.
Maybe just double check, or be careful how you take it off. So I'm trying to think, how am I going to put this back? How do I put this back together with? I can't really use tape. I don't have a good enough tape for that. I thought of stapling it together, and I thought, well, I'll just use some tie straps. It's just like an insulated blanket. It's almost like bubble wrap. So I just used a bunch of tie straps if you end up with the same kind of problem. Just put a bunch of them together. And then once I got a bunch of them together, I just kind of laced it around it. And actually in here, you'll see I just put one wrap around there, but later on I put another wrap of it just so then the blanket is actually against the battery. I'm hoping that'll help insulate it a little better when we get our minus 40 Fahrenheit temperatures. which coincidentally, is minus 40 Celsius. Actually, we're in Canada, so we use Canadian, right? Celsius. Actually, I'm old enough I remember both. So I just tightened it up, and then I, got rid of the strays, the long ends there. Don't need to hook that on something later. So snap that all off. Hopefully your vehicle hasn't left you stranded. This one hadn't left us stranded yet. And the old battery's still kind of good for... I got a truck I tow a camper with in the summertime, so I think I'm just going to throw that battery in there. I did record me sweeping up the mess in there, but I lost the video already. I don't know what happened. And then I ended up spraying I used some of this deoxit on the corrosion, and then I used some fluid film. Here's the fluid film on the actual bolt itself, on the threads. Because remember, I was saying that they were really hard to turn because it goes into a metal clip. It's like a bolt. So I figured I'll spray some of that on there, move it around a little bit, get it to free itself up, and then I won't have trouble next time I need to change the battery in hopefully another 3, 4, 5 years. You never know. It was tight, but I got it to free up a little bit, and it started working okay. So I should show you how this battery fits on the other side here too. It's got a ledge on this side too, or a little lip right under there. So the battery lip fits under that side. Push that under there first, and then clip it under this side. And that's what's holding your battery down. Probably should have showed you that before. Then I got the battery in. We're sure going to try. Put this lip in first, closest to us. And then once I had it centered, tried to get that other mounting, the hold down. Show you on the other side here. Just wanted to make sure that that lip of the battery was underneath. I thought, well, I'll just hold this in. I actually didn't need to push this with the screwdriver, because as the bolt pulls or tightens against this little clamp or tie down, it actually is sitting on a little hill, and the more you tighten it, the closer it gets to the battery. Still kind of tight, but snugged her down. And then once I got that done, they don't want the battery banging around. Cables would probably hold it in place, but not good for your battery to be banging around in the tray that it's in. So if I could do it right first time, then I won't be worrying about it later. Just tighten it up a little. Just needs to be snug. If the battery isn't jiggling around, it's probably tight enough. But like I said, that bolt was kind of tight. Took a little bit to get it down there. I must have loosened it off too much when I pulled it out. There we go. Getting right to about that point where it's snug enough. You notice I didn't reef on it, I just used my hand there. There's this little handle on this one, make sure it's sitting down. Figure I'll do the positive first. I'll take this little cap off. I'm going to clean it too. Yeah, it's a new battery. Might as well just clean whatever kind of... Could be corrosion there from it being brand new too. Also I did the connectors here. These clamps. You see there's a little bit of greenies in there. Clean that all out. This is one of these little battery, I don't know what you call them. It's supposed to stop corrosion from happening. Usually what happens is the top of the battery gets kind of dirty and wet, and then actually power from the positive to the negative, or I guess the negative to the positive, goes across the top of the battery, and it starts a little chemical reaction. Not good. If you're finding that too, maybe just scrub the top of your battery. If you have an old battery, just a little tip there. Free tip from Uncle Mark. I'll get the negative off and put this on. Now, you may have to reset your clock radio in your van. What I found is it seemed to retain... Making all sorts of noise here. Seemed like the radio retained what the stations were, but it forgot what time it was. I'll put a link right up here on the right hand corner. Right there, you'll see it. And if you click on that, you'll see how to set the radio if you have the same kind of radio that I do. Tighten this down. And should be pretty much ready to go. Now, these batteries are supposed to be charged up when you buy them, but I'm figuring, I don't know how long it's been sitting on the shelf. So what I ended up doing is I stuck a different battery charger on it. I know this one is sitting there, and it's already hooked up, but it's also hooked up to the block heater. So I figured I don't need a block heater running. I'm going to write the size on here again, 10 millimeter, just as, you know, a quick little idea for me. If I need to take it off later, then you're not grabbing wrenches and going back and forth through your toolbox. Well, I figured, yeah, I should maybe pop those out too. The date when I bought the battery. Just for my records, I've got a receipt for the battery anyway, so it's not going to really matter what this says, but it'll give me an idea. And it's December of 22. Get that baby out of there. And hopefully it's going to be a good battery. Like I say, I stuck a quick trickle charger on it for, well, until the trickle charger said it was charged up. Here's the trickle charger. It needs to have that last light on for it to be charged up. It says this low. I'll put a link in the description for this charger. Well, that was pretty easy. Thanks for sticking around. I just wanted to make you aware of a playlist I'm going to put right up here on this van. Right up there, just above the blue circle. If you look at the flashing yellow arrow, just above that, it has a Grand Caravan playlist you can click on. Check that out. Please give me the thumbs up if you don't mind. That helps YouTube know I'm doing a good job if you haven't already. And you can subscribe down in the corner so that you don't miss any more of the videos I have. I've got lots on this vehicle. I've got quite a few on different other vehicles as well. And maybe, you know, you'll see something not on a Grand Caravan that I'm working on that is similar that might even help you. But the Grand Caravan playlist, worth looking into. Until next time, I'm Uncle Mark saying thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now. You and your family stay safe. Please subscribe, and you'll get all the notifications. It's easy. The little dog will show you how. Ring the bell. Ring the bell. Nope.